Will you please come to the stand, Julian?
Woo!
Thank you. Wow. Hello, everyone. You know, when I was working in my old job, I used to work at Waterford. I used to always think about what this moment would be like, and it's like a dream. This is unbelievable. Thank you. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2022. My name is Julian, and I have the honor of speaking to you all as a salutatorian of this next generation of BCA graduates. Firstly, I would like to thank all of you for taking the time out of your Tuesday to support us in what is a defining moment in all of our lives, and what more than 12 years of work has led up to. I'm sure you're all very proud of the students up here tonight, and I am proud of them as well. However, I would like to acknowledge some of the people who aren't in the spotlight today, the ones who were particularly special in my life. You see, for the better part of the school year, my mental state wasn't in the best condition. Every single day I had to step on campus was a struggle. I got a taste of what chronic anxiety felt like, along with frequent panic attacks and dissociation. All the while, it felt like no one was there for me, and like no one wanted to help, or at least no one wanted to. Despite this, there were those few, those special people, who in the moments I could be with them, it felt like I could breathe. And all these people are here in the audience. I'll start with my family. My mom, my dad, and my grandma have been core supporters in my life, and I don't know what I would have done without them. I don't know if I would have made it through my 17 years of life, much less this year, without them. I love all of you so much, and I'm grateful that you're here for me. I would also like to thank Alex, my closest friend by far, who's always been with me in my times of need, and who has always given me a space to be myself, completely unfiltered, and the only person to do so in my life. I love you, Alex. I would like to thank Claudia, who without exaggeration might be the kindest person I've ever met. You are undoubtedly my closest friend at the school, and you were always there no matter what. Thank you for sticking with me and not getting tired of me and my antics. I appreciate your resistance. Last but not least, I'd like to thank Dr. Villarreal. Objectively, one of the finest history teachers that exists on this planet, and in my mind, the greatest teacher I've ever had. On the days I was at my lowest points, he allowed me to sit in his empty room with him during his conference period. It may not seem like a lot, but those 90 minutes I would spend there every so often always lifted my spirits. Conveniently, he was a licensed therapist, so I could also sit there and talk about what I was going through. And he'd give the best advice out of anyone I'd ever talked to. You have no idea how much you helped me, Dr. B. That concludes my acknowledgments. Once again, I'm forever grateful to all of you. Continuing, I would like to talk about the journey that we as a class have come since this school opened. As many of you know, Brooks Collegiate Academy opened for classes during the 2017 through 2018 school year and built it on the campus that used to be Cornerstone Christian Schools, which, fun fact, is the school I used to go to. We came from very humble beginnings. Remember how I told you all what happened in the 2017 school year? Well, our first graduating class actually came in 2020. Our school was so small we didn't even have a junior or senior classes the first year. This first year was highly chaotic as well, with impossible pickup arrangements and unbelievable traffic. There were so many teachers leaving, even so far as having us go through 3 different science teachers in 1 year. It's easy to say the first one wasn't our best, but we quickly improved and became more consistent with our practices and staff. Fast forward 2 years and we get to the elephant in the room, 2020. The 2019 through 2020 school year was certainly one of character development, to say the least. Now, the topic of COVID-19 has been talked to death, and in the last 2 years, so I'll be brief to preserve our collective sanity. Online school taught us a lot about ourselves, mainly how we could be good at procrastinating, and how many creative and destructive sleep schedules we could come up with. But we overcame this difficult and quite unique obstacle that persisted on to this point, and I must say that I'm very proud that I can speak for all of us when I say that we did it. Finally, I'd like to speak a little of my personal journey in these last 4 years. I came to the school when I was 12 years old. I was closed-minded, abrasive, self-conscious, not to mention quite the chubby kid. All of that combined with a brand new environment made for quite the transformation. I met some amazing people with experiences I'd never heard of, life perspectives that I couldn't have imagined before. I lost over 40 pounds in my time here. I became more confident, introspective, and just a better person overall. It hasn't been without its ups and downs, for sure. regrets, and sometimes you make things so wrong that you can never go back. And there are things that I wish I could redo. But on the other hand, if I'm standing here talking to all of you today, maybe things went the way they were supposed to. Overall, I'd say I've come a long way, but I have an even longer way to go. Now I turn to my fellow classmates. All of you are unique, and having at least had brief interaction with each of you, I can say that you each have your place in life, and that you will do great things. I wish all 47 of you the absolute best. With that all said, I'd like to leave you all with something tonight. A piece of advice that I've stitched together from my own life experience and what much wiser people have told me. Comparison is the thief of all joy, so when you do anything, do with the intent to only be better than you did yesterday. There will always be someone better than you, quote unquote. But life isn't a competition, and if you treat it as such, you'll constantly feel unhappy and inadequate, speaking from experience. Trying to win all the time just doesn't work, and I learned that the hard way. When you've reached a place which is more pleasant than you once came from, that is the true measure of success. Thank you.